People were living happily, selling smoked fish, children playing on the wood. They didn't know death had moved in downstairs. A market woman, Mama Tolo, she stayed late at the mainland market. Paddling back, the lagoon was pitch black. Suddenly, she stopped paddling. She felt something under her canoe. It was a bubbling. The water around her was boiling. Before she could stretch her neck to see well, the horror happened. Her canoe didn't just tip over, it was lifted. She was thrown into the air. She landed in the bubbling water. She tried to swim to a stilt pillar. She felt rough skin brush her leg. She kicked, screaming, "Jesus, Jesus!" Then she was yanked down. 1 second she was thrashing. The next, the surface was flat. The only thing that came back up was her headtie, floating gently on the black oil. It was a fresh afternoon. 2 fishermen, Sunday and Moses, went to the outskirts to cast their nets. The water was calm. Sunday stood at the front of the canoe. "Something is moving," he whispered. He pointed his spear. A shadow was gliding under the water on the left. Big fish, Moses said, getting his net ready. "No," Sunday said, his voice shaking. "Look at the right." Another shadow was gliding on the right. They were being hunted. They were surrounded. Sunday raised his spear to choke the water on the left. It was a mistake. The water exploded. A massive crocodile the hunter launched out. It didn't go for the boat. It went for Sunday's leg. It clamped down with a sound like a car crash. Sunday screamed, dropping the spear. He held onto the boat railing, fighting, his muscles tearing. "Help me!" he yelled to Moses. Moses grabbed Sunday's hands, pulling him back. It was a tug of war. Sunday was winning. He was almost back in the boat. Then, the second crocodile, the butcher, rose from the right side. It didn't attack the boat. It attacked Sunday's upper body. It bit Sunday's arm and shoulder. Now, one crocodile had the leg. The other had the arm. Sunday was torn into 2 different parts. Blood sprayed Moses in the face like a hose. The top half of Sunday fell into the boat. The bottom half vanished into the water. Moses froze, covered in his brother's blood, staring at the empty water.
Enough!
The Baal chief declared war.
No one goes into the water. The water has turned against us. We stay on the platforms. We kill them from above.
The men brought out local guns, machetes, and harpoons. They stood on their porches, waiting. They thought they were safe because they were high up. Night fell. The water began to churn. Not 1 crocodile, not 2, 4 of them. They didn't jump for the men. They attacked the foundation. The first house, filled with a family of 5, began to tilt. The screaming inside was deafening. The crocodiles were ramming the stilts like battering rams. The house collapsed into the lagoon. The splash was massive. As the roof hit the water, the men with guns tried to fire, but it was chaos. The crocodiles were fast. They moved through the wreckage like ghosts. A man fell from a neighboring porch. Before he hit the water, jaws caught him. It was a massacre. The safety of the stilts was a lie. The village was falling into the mouths of the beasts. Below them, the 4 monsters circled. The biggest one, the matriarch, scarred and ancient, looked up. She slammed her tail against the concrete. It held. But the smaller crocodiles began climbing the debris pile, inching closer to the terrified crowd. Moses looked at the petrol. He looked at the monsters. "Burn them," he whispered. He poured the fuel into the water, circling the school. The fumes rose. The crocodiles hissed, sensing the trap. Moses lit the rag and threw it. The fire danced on the water. The lagoon became a ring of fire. The crocodiles thrashed, trapped between the heat and the concrete. The people cheered, thinking they had won. The fire died down after 10 minutes. The crocodiles swam under the water, escaping the heat, waiting. The people were safe from the teeth, but they were trapped on the island. No boats, no bridge, just the charred water. By morning, a speedboat was sent to rescue the survivors. As they were entering the speedboat, the crocodiles were moving fast towards them. As they were moving with the speedboat, the crocodiles were chasing them closely. Nearly a crocodile teeth hit the boat and it zoomed off. Everyone was happy as they waved Makoko goodbye.